folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join us in the wild landscape of Scotland. Today we're on a pretty dangerous main road here because we're exploring in what's it called? Storm Darach or something like that. Storm Darach. I think that's what it's called today, folks. So yeah, we're out and about for an explore, keeping it safe. We were going to go to a secondary location, but there was a big massive tree branch down on the road, so we had to pop a U-ey, and then we've ended up here, and we're away to document an old 1800s farmhouse which has got some cool architectural details. Today we're near Fettercairn and Edzell. So yeah, let's get into this adventure. It's so mad. There's really strong winds and heavy rains today, so we're just making the most of the conditions. Check it out, folks, we've made it to the edge of this little abandoned historical wonder. Whoa, the wind's gusting and you can hear it. We're being super aware that trees and stuff could blow down. And look, here's the edge of an old wall. Wow, this is intense, folks, but like I say, we're out all conditions, all weathers, and the reason I thought this would be a cool one to come to, it's actually got an underground bitty, so we'll be out of the wind. Whoa, there's a bit of wire there. Yeah, we should be out of the wind, folks, once we get inside. This is so cool, look at it. The ancient abandoned structure. So this was an old farm croft, and then in the 1800s it was basically tidied up and given this fancy grey sandstone frontage on it, so from the road it would look grand and really well presented. It's got some incredible old abandoned pillars. Look at it here. Wow. The old pillars disappearing up into the ivy which now lives all over this thing. Wow, you can hear the roar from the wind. Look at this front door. It's like the secret garden. An old entrance like this, taken over from nature. You could say it's lost to nature and time, folks. Wow, hear the roar from that, it's eerie like. Wow, we need to watch that obviously some of these trees and stuff don't fall down. And look, here's the underground bit here. Look at this, the old rooms of the house, overtaken from the ivy and the wildlife. Nature. What a vibe it is coming to a place like this at this time of year, folks. It's so cool. Look at the old fireplace. I did have original photos of this that I found one time, so I'll include them at the end of this video. If I've still got those pictures, I'll include them, because you can see like this room, how at one time it looked when it still had the plaster on the walls. And this is old like wooden lath. At one time the plaster was smeared onto that, and I think at that time there was like horsehair and stuff mixed into the plaster. And then look, it's had these grand front windows. But under our feet right here there's a whole massive area. And when I first came here I thought it was like a castle or something. I couldn't believe it. So much history hidden in one little area. Such a small... Oh, hear it roaring. We need to be careful and try and climb down here without knocking anything down. So you need to watch you don't knock this down on my head. Here we go, folks. I've got a torch for this one, so I'll switch it on. Where have I put it? It's in my top pocket here. We'll always promise you, folks, the realest of adventures on this channel, and this is no different. We're heading into this abandoned wonder. Just be careful if you're leaning on any of this, because I promise you it's no the safest like. Wow, I'm just coming down side footed here, folks. Check this out. We're going underneath Scotland right now. What an incredible scene it is. I'll get the torch sorted out. It was kind of in front of the lens there. Wow, it's mad hearing the roar from that storm above our heads. And then through here, I believe this is the old farmhouse kitchen. We can see here the actual fireplace. At one time there would have been a big cooking range here. And then this has gone into, there's been another room at the far side of here. There's been a room that was backfilled. Highlanders coming down in. How are you getting on?
I was taking pictures.
Oh, aye. Wow, there's a weird wind, like the wind is blowing in here. It's so extreme. It's just like being in a secret garden. See under here, all this is just forgotten. Look at the old hooks on the roof, maybe at one time for a lamp. The water's dripping through the structure nowadays. But it is such a large structure. And I love the way the ivy comes down through these holes. Wow, just look at it, folks. It's cool to document these things before they are gone and forgotten from the land. Look, there's another one of those hooks. Maybe for storage and stuff. For things for the farm. Maybe they stored it down here as well as having their kitchen. Wow, and the ground nowadays is like mud, sediment. Such a big area, folks. And look at this, the way the old wooden door frame and stuff's still in there. Look, there's one of the original stone slabs on the floor. So that gives you an idea of how at one time it was all finished to the highest order. Look, there's a fine cut stone there as well. There's been a lot of money spent in this place at a certain time. Online as well, it tells you like all the people that lived here, and there was maids and a cook. And then the farmer and his family. And then in the 1800s it got sold. From that day to this, it just seems to be abandoned and forgotten. You can see how this end is more of it has fallen down than the far end. And that's how, if you're in the room above here, you have to watch and not walk too close to the edge. There's one of those old square nails right there sticking out of the roof. What a scene, folks, it's so cool. I love coming to places like this, imagining the history and the things that went on and the people that maybe stood here cooking at the range. You can imagine a big like pot of soup or whatever on the stove. But Scotland's weather is extreme, and that's why these places, when they're abandoned, they go downhill so fast. You can just hear the water dripping off the structure. Well, see what I believe. There's been a room there to the left, and it's been blocked up. And there's been a door there and there, and both of them has been blocked up at a certain time. Because when you go back through there, there's a window that's been blocked up, aims into that area. So that was how I've got that theory as to what it was. Yeah, probably animals come down here and eat their tea. Foxes and whatnot. Getting a bit of shelter from the storm. See, I think that's been the kitchen. And they maybe even had like larders and stuff through in those rooms. Yeah. But for some reason, maybe for the strength of the ground, that was the reason that they had filled that under there, so the top kind of didn't fall in. Whereas maybe this was stronger, so it was able to be kept open. It's so cool though, places like this, folks, it just blows my mind, and it's cool for a wee video to come to a place like this in a storm. But yeah, there might have also been a way down there, or maybe it was just a floor above it. It is hard to know, but that wall there's definitely not original either. Oh, it's crazy, eh? We better maybe head out of here. Hey, it's extreme. It's a weird feeling. Makes you wonder, like, if a tree fell on top of this, what would happen? Yeah. It maybe wouldn't be a bonny sight, folks. We could get out this way, like. It's maybe easier than going out up the spiral stair on a day like this. Look at this, the old door frame and stuff's still here as well. The bit of paint is still on it. Wow, this is just mad, folks. We're coming out into this ivy wonderland, and look above our heads, there's been a door. So it makes you think there must have been a floor over here, and then that was simply just for the access both ways. Yeah, look how weak that must be. There's nothing holding that up hardly. Wow, it's so intense, folks, places like this. And then look, there's wee buildings here as well. The chimney stack's already fallen off this one. I need to switch off the torch. Whoa, we need to be careful here, folks. This is intense. So this is crazy, folks. The roar there from the wind is just intense. Look how fragile that bit there is above the lintel. Wow. And then this would have been the whole farm at this side. So crazy. I've probably said that a lot since we've come out into that open again, like, but the weather's just intense with that wind blowing and swirling. The bit down where we're parked is not quite as bad in the hollow, but up here it's almost scary, like. And look, now we're round the back of the house and we can see how it's been changed and developed. You can actually see here how the grey sandstone's been put on the front of the rougher looking older stone of the building. Check it out here, folks. Here's the grey sandstone here and you can see the difference. Even on the old photos from like the early days, maybe like 1800's that I found, this was always bricked up like this. So the house had been changed and developed a lot over the years throughout its life. And there is a lot more erosion on some of the walls than others. I think this area here is a lot newer. And then obviously this would have been part of the oldest croft, maybe here in the 1700s and stuff, and this would have been a small croft house as well at one time. There's the chimney there from the actual sitting room, which is inside that end building there. Wow, this is just mad today, like coming out in this, we'll have to play it safe, folks. Scotland can be a dangerous place exploring on days like this. Oh, he's in the barbed wire there. There's an old fence line running through. That's the old farmyard there, and like animal sheds and stuff. And then an old hay loft. But then look here how this has been taken over from the ivy. Obviously that's the downstairs bit we were looking at. Oh. And then the lintel, look how that tree comes out from the inside to the outside. That is crazy. Wow. It's been cool today, folks. We're making the most of a situation here of extreme stormy conditions, so you have to appreciate we've managed to come out and see something at least, which is cool. So much of that front face is starting to fall off the building, and it's a shame to see. Often videos like this can just save the history, and it shows you how it looked at a certain point in time. Shows you what was done in the way of architecture back in the day. Anyway, let's head on back out of here before we get a tree on the head. So because this field's stubble, we're taking a wee shortcut across here because it's safer than actually walking along the road where the trees are. So check it out, folks, we're just about back to the main road here. It's been a short video, but it's been cool to see that wee house and document it as it stands here on the land. And to be out in this weather, it is quite intense. And we're just keeping an eye to the sky for flying branches the whole time. But yeah, it's been cool to see that house and document what was a wee croft. Torwood Cottage, I believe it was called, in the last few years of its life. And yeah, I'm going to end it here, folks. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye from me. Goodbye from Highlander 87. We'll catch you very soon with the next adventure, wherever we end up going.